Hello there, my fandom friends. My name is Jenna and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'll be discussing my thoughts, Easter eggs I picked up on, and some predictions I have in regards to episode 4 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. There won't be much breakdown of the episode in this video, so I'd highly recommend you watch the episode before listening to my thoughts. I don't want to spoil anything for you, and there will be spoilers ahead. Clone Wars flashbacks. I'd absolutely love to see Clone Wars flashbacks that specifically portray Obi-Wan and Anakin during that war. So far, we've got some great Clone Wars references, but I'd love to see the creators go a step further and add in some actual flashbacks. Maybe some kind of emotionally wrecking conversation between Obi-Wan and Anakin during the Clone Wars that we didn't get to see in the actual show, but that could be impactful in this show. I thought the back-to-take scene would have been the perfect time for it since both of them were sensing each other in their own back-to-tanks. I've also seen lots of rumors and fan-made images of Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen in the Clone Wars outfits, so I think a part of me was expecting to see flashbacks since it's talked about so much by fans. General. This was a small detail, but I loved how Roken called Obi-Wan General, just like the old days. I'll talk about this more a little later, but this episode really showed more of Obi-Wan embracing his true Jedi self and real self in general again. So as simple as the word general sounds, it probably helps him gain some leverage in returning to his old self. Leias Resistance. Even though Reva seems to be strong in reading people's minds, I really thought it was fitting that Leia was able to resist her. It just shows how powerful the Skywalker line is, especially since Leia had no formal training for her powers or even knew she had any. I really enjoy seeing more of Leia's force powers portrayed in these newer movies and shows since Luke was the main focus of the original series. Reva's connection with Leia. The more I listened to her speak to Leia, the more I started to think she was talking to herself. She seems very alone and broken, and that has become more apparent to me the more episodes that come along. Seeing her this way makes me think even more that she used to be the youngling in the opening scene of the show during Order 66. Everything was taken from her when the Inquisitors came. Jedi Tomb.
This is no mine. It's a tomb.
I certainly gasped when I saw Terrace Anube in the tomb. He was in some episodes of the Clone Wars and played a role in helping Ahsoka find patience and a center of calm before rushing into a situation. I really enjoyed his character in the Clone Wars, so it broke my heart to see him captured in that hard, amber, jelly-like resin. At first, I thought all these Jedi were dead, but now I'm wondering if they are still alive and are being preserved for some reason. I'm wondering if Palpatine is somehow using their Force-sensitive blood for his own experiments, since we've gotten hints from other Star Wars content that Palpatine is very interested in that. Seeing the youngling at the end of the hallway was also very saddening. For me, and Obi-Wan I'm sure, since he most likely recalled his former Padawan killing them during Order 66. Lightsabers along the wall. It looks like there are lightsabers lining the walls of the Inquisitor meeting room where Reva and Tala have their conversation. I also briefly saw these a couple episodes ago, but didn't mention it because I wasn't totally sure if they were lightsabers or not. It's definitely a lot more clear in this episode. I'm guessing these are the Jedi's lightsabers that are from the tomb.
Your lightsabers will make a fine addition to my collection.
Florum. This planet was mentioned by Tala during her conversation with Reva. This planet is where the infamous Hondo Ohnaka has his headquarters during the Clone Wars. If you don't know who that is, he is a Weequay pirate who played a large role in the Clone Wars and Rebels. Before watching this show, I had really hoped Hondo would make an appearance. I wasn't sure how or why that would make sense, but if you know Hondo, you know he seems to randomly appear when you're least expecting him. I wonder if this mention of Florum was foreshadowing to see Hondo in live action soon. Obi-Wan is back. Seeing Obi-Wan back in real action filled my heart with such joy. He even did the famous twirl of his lightsaber. Something I love seeing play out is how a Skywalker, Anakin, has been the source of so much of his pain. However, another Skywalker, Leia, is starting to become the source of his redemption and uprising. Obi-Wan is slowly becoming his real self again, which doesn't mean he has to get over everything by forgetting, he just has to get through it. Holding the water. This reminded me of a couple paralleled scenes from other Star Wars content. One has recently been from the Bad Batch when the clones were escaping to Poca City and the glass walls were caving in. Another was from Season 1, Episode 13 of the Clone Wars, where Anakin holds back the fire. He pushes Ahsoka and others away just as Obi-Wan made sure Leia and Tala were well away from the water in case the window shattered. Jedi don't carry blasters. So this is a joke, but whenever I see Obi-Wan shooting a blaster in this show, I repeat in my head,
Jedi do not carry blasters.
can anyone else relate? I seriously think about this every single time. Leia and Obi-Wan. Seeing them slowly bond over the course of these episodes warms my heart so much. The scene at the end when Leia places her hand on Obi-Wan's was such a sweet and lovely moment. They kindly smile at one another and the episode ends. Obi-Wan must be exploding with so much emotion on the inside. Reva's quote saying,
"Where he goes, it will follow."
referring to Lola, reminded me of how where Obi-Wan goes, a Skywalker follows. He seems to never be without one. In conclusion, these were all of my thoughts about the 4th episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi. If you agree, disagree, or would like to comment your own thoughts and opinions, feel free to in the comment section. I love hearing from everybody and discussing our favorite fandoms as a community. I look forward to hearing from you. So for now, I hope you have a magical day and I bid you all a very fond farewell.